جزاك. شكرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد. We give thanks and praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for each and every blessing He has blessed us with. And I always mention that because being grateful to Allah is one of the sifah, one of the quality of a mu'min, constantly being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And saying Alhamdulillah to be able to come to the masjid. And upon leaving the masjid, we say, Allahumma Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka anta as-sami'ul alim wa tub alayna innaka anta at-tawwab ar-rahim. Ya Allah, you have given us the opportunity of praying Salat al-Isha in Jama'ah. Ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept all your deeds, because you don't want to wake up on Yawm al-Qiyamah having known that your deeds are not accepted. That's why each and every time we do a good deed, ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept that deed. At the same time, we know very well in regards to what we have just performed. We know very well. I said, you make me laugh. Good. There's a cool one here if you want. Barakallah. At the same time, we need to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, you broke my concentration. I said, Allah. Barakallah feek. Faqakallah. Look, you know, when you see someone, when you see your brother, or you see someone, that's why when I do any kind of talk, I don't look at anyone. Have you guys noticed I don't look at you guys? Sometimes I look in a different place, because whoever I see, I think of something. If you come and look at my khutbah, you listen to my khutbah in Al-Manar or whatever, you remember there was the conference, me and Mufti Mek, we gave a conference. Yeah, there was 12,000 people in front of me. I was pretending I was looking at those people, but I never looked at anyone. In front of me, there was no one. In front of me, there was no one. I was looking at some polls. This is one of the trick of public speaking. You look at some poll where people think you're looking at them. Like the brother there, I'm not looking at him. I look at the poll. I look at the chair over there, but they think I'm looking at him. All right? Some people, they can't look at people when they give a talk. My brother, I said, if I see him, mashallah, I think of many things we've done together, because we were in UK together in the summer. So he just, out of the blue, he just appeared in front of me. All the dhikriyat came. Barakallah fi. Al-Muhim, because of you, because of you, we got this motion. Al-Muhim, Alhamdulillah, we spoke about tahara. We spoke about purification. We spoke about tayammum. We spoke about mash on the khuf and hijab and imamah. We spoke about ghusl. Very good. And now it's time for us to speak about as-salah. We all know how important salah is, and I'm not going to speak about the importance of salah, because we spoke about that before. We know very well that as-salah is the third thing that Allah is going to ask you on Yawm al-Qiyamah. We know very well that as-salah is the only pillar that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he gave it to him on the seventh sky, seventh heaven, compared to zakah, wal hajj, wal siyam, wal shahada. We know very well that salah is the last thing what the Prophet Muhammad spoke about as a statement, where he said, as-salah, as-salah, وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. Prayer and prayer, take good care of the people, especially the weak ones. In regard to salah, is the only pillar in Islam that if ever you neglect it, you have come outside the fold of Islam. As-salah. Not zakah, not siyam, not hajj. As-salah. If you neglect your salah without any excuse, you don't want to pray. 1 year, 2 years, no Jum'ah, nothing. You have come outside the fold of Islam. You got to be very careful. When the people of Jannah will ask the people of Jahannam, and we're not speaking about the kuffar, we're speaking about those Muslims who has entered Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. The people of Jannah will say, ما سلككم في سقر? ما سلككم في سقر? What had actually brought you into hellfire? The first thing will be, قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. We were not among those who used to pray. And we know very well that our success in this dunya and the akhirah lies in the first and foremost thing, which is as-salah. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Mu'min. You want to reach the level of mu'min. Those people who are mu'min, they are going to be successful in this world and the akhirah. First criteria, first principle, الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون. Those people who pray, they've got the punctuality. They pray with their heart. They pray not because they're forced to. Allah didn't say الذين في صلاتهم قائمون. Allah didn't say that those people who pray while standing. لا. خاشعون. Those people who know and understand they're standing in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. هم المؤمن. They are the ones who are actually among the believers. فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون. Woe be to those who pray and their prayer is sometimes they pray, sometimes they don't pray. They go to work, they come back, they do a package, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib together. You know those people? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from that. Abadan, no, not Jam' al-Qasr. Some people, what they do, they go to work, they don't pray Dhuhr, wala Asr, wala Maghrib. They come back home. I was too dirty, I cannot pray. I pray Dhuhr and Asr, Maghrib together. لا يجوز. Haram. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a Dhuhr and He's given you a time lapse for it. You've got all these almost like 4 to 3 hours to pray Salat al-Dhuhr. Pray Salat al-Dhuhr. You have to know what kind of impurity that you can't actually have in you for you not to pray. Some people, they really can't pray. They're excused. Some people, they can pray. Oh, I'm smelly. I can't pray. Oh, I got some kind of oil in my hand. Oh, I'm sweaty. La. All these are pure. The only time when you find out that you cannot pray and you cannot make ghusl or whatever, at that time you can do it because you have an excuse. Or else there's no excuse in salah. حتى you are على ميدان الجهاد. Even though you are fighting against the enemy on the plane of jihad, you're not allowed to miss your salah. Salat al-khawf, yes or no? One team, they pray in front, and the next one, they do ruku', and then the ruku', then you go in sujood, and then you stand up. Even there, you pray. Even though you are on your bed, you're not able to move, you pray with your eyes. It tells you how important salah is. No, there's no mizah. There's no joke in salah. My brother and my sisters, if ever you feel that you're not feeling sakina, you're feeling stressed out, your decision is confused, go back to your salah. You want sakina? Go back to your salah. You want raha? Go back to your salah. Arihna biha ya Bilal. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he had the ummah, he had his family. He had the jaysh, he had the enemy all coming all at once. And guess what? Stressful. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what was going on in his heart. But what he would tell Bilal, yeah, Bilal, arihna biha ya Bilal. Make us feel good, al-raha, make us feel at peace and tranquil with the salah. Hey, comfort. And Nabi Sallallahu said, for me in this world, what I love the most is perfume. And back in the day, the woman was oppressed. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that he came, he actually gave them rights, the woman. ولكن وجعلت قرة عيني في الصلاة. For verily, I feel the sweetness of my eyes in as-salah. Wallahi, I come and I put the highest part of my head down for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. I'm doing my sajda, I'm throwing all my dhunub and all my sin down to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How would you feel good after you leave the masjid, akhi? This raha, what you get, you come by. The tranquility that you get now. You leave the masjid, you say, Allahumma inni as'aluka min fadlik. Oh Allah, I ask for your bounty. You come inside and say, Allahumma aftah li abawab rahmatik. Oh Allah, open for me the door of your mercy and bounty. La ilaha illallah. And only people whom Allah choose, they come to the masjid because Allah look at their heart. Yes or no? And I always mention how many people are here in this mantaqa, in this district or town or village, and how many Allah Azza wa Jalla has invited to their house, to his house. So therefore, said, alhamdulillah. Now you want to actually pray in the best of way. You can't just come here and pray as you wish. The same when we spoke about the condition and the pillars and the wajibat and the sunan and the makruhat and the nawaqid of wudu and ghusl, the rulings of wudu and ghusl, the same thing we have for salah. You need to know how to pray. You need to know what are the obligatory act and the sunnah action, how to compensate for any kind of mistake in your salah. Yes or no? This is something that we want to actually emphasize in the coming weeks, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But today, we're going to speak about the conditions of salah. What are the things that you need to have even before starting your prayer? Nothing to do with the prayer now, huh? The 5 points that we're going to speak about today are the points that are needed before you start praying. Conditions. The condition for you to become a medical doctor, you need to finish your studies as a doctor, yes or no? That's the first condition. Or you want to actually go for an interview as an engineer. What's the condition? They've got conditions, in the job description. You need to have 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have this, don't even bother to come to the interview. I already put in my ad, I need to have a teacher of 2 years experience. If I don't have it, don't even bother to go to the interview because that's the condition. Guess what? If ever you don't have these 5 points we're going to speak about today, then don't even think of praying. These 5 points has to be there. All right? Those are the conditions of salah. We're not going to speak about you had to be Muslim because you had to be Muslim regardless for you to pray. You had to be sane for you to pray. Someone who is mentally stable for you to pray. Condition of salah, you have reached the age of puberty. This is something that's there. But the 5 main points I want to speak about today is, number 1, the time, tahara, qibla, awrah. These are the things that we want to speak about today. How do we actually need these in order for us to start praying? All right? Let me just put that for the people over here, our brothers. Let me just share. Intention, of course. The conditions of salah. The conditions of salah are those on which the validity of prayer depends. It means that we need these kind of conditions before actually pray. If these conditions are neglected, the prayer is nullified. They all have to be here. All right? First and foremost, let's speak about the time. To be prayed at a specific time. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned, إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا. Indeed, prayer has been decreed upon the believers at its prescribed time. الصلاة على وقتها. You pray at the time of salah. No matter how busy you are. If salat al-dhuhr is 12:15, can you pray 12:10? Can you pray 12:14? No. You can't. The time matters. How many times I get a question, Sheikh, I need to come from Sharqa to Dubai. And guess what? If I take my car and I come to Dubai, I wait for Salat al-Fajr, I will miss it. Can I pray Salat al-Fajr before the Adhan? Mustahil. You can't. By the time you know that it is the timing, the first timing of the prayer has entered, you can start praying. Let's say, for example, Adhan al-Fajr is 5 o'clock. And it's 5 o'clock, you need to pray. Do you have to wait for the Adhan? No. By the time it hits 5 o'clock, you can pray. The Adhan is not a condition for you to pray. I could have said the Adhan, yes or no? Because in some countries, they don't pray straight away. They don't give the Adhan, especially in India and Pakistan, even in the UK. Yes or no? After sometimes. There is a masjid, they might, for example, for Isha. There are some masjids, they pray at the earliest time. They say, for example, what time is Isha? You understand what I'm saying now, yeah? Some masjid, they will pray Salat al-Isha. Today, Adhan was 7:08. Yes or no? 7:08. That masjid. And in other places, they will pray maybe 8:30. Yes or no? Because they want to make people be, okay, if you miss over here, come over there. But now some people believe that they have to wait for the Adhan in order to pray over there, where the earliest time has already started. So the Adhan is not a condition. Also, giving Adhan is sunnah. You can pray even without giving the Adhan. Adhan wal iqama kulla sunnah. For therefore, if ever someone wants to pray, he look at the time. The reason why we have Adhan, because back in the days, not everyone would look at the time for prayer. We had specific people to look at the time for Salah. Ayyam al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who was in charge of the Adhan? Bilal ibn Rabah. Let's say, for example, he would know when it is Fajr. Yes or no? Just before the breaking of the dawn. He look at it. Okay, now it's about to be Fajr. He go give the Adhan. Because not everyone is going to look at the breaking of the dawn. He's been in charge for it. Now, the sun has already reached its zenith and it's inclining toward the other side. So now my shade is at my own size and measure. So now it's Dhuhr time. Allahu Akbar. Now people know, because now people are depending upon the Adhan. He comes to know now my shade is only double of my size. So now it's Asr time. Allahu Akbar. The sun has set. Okay, in the Maghrib time. Allahu Akbar. And it's all full dark now. The reddish of the night has gone. So now it is Isha time. Allahu Akbar. That was back in the days. No, of course. And yeah, but there was no watch. Watch came at the time of Sheikh Ibn Battuta when you go to the museum. See, and golden times. Then they came up with the time. لا 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 صح. I think the Muslim. Allah Allah. المهم, but now it's easy. The mu'adhin is here to let you know, that proclaim that it is Salah time. But the time, what matters. I'm saying this especially for the sisters. For the sisters, sometimes they wait for the Adhan or even the Iqamah for them to pray at home. No. By the time you heard the Adhan, or you know it is Adhan time, what do? You can pray, sisters. In Ramadan, But you know, what time is Maghrib here? 5:54. If tomorrow you're fasting, for example, Ayyam al-Bayt, then it is Thursday. It comes 54. Do you have to wait for the mu'adhin to say Allahu Akbar to break your fast? Yeah. You know it's 5:54 and maybe mu'adhin, he's breaking his fast. Sometimes it happens, yeah, because what we do as mu'adhin sometimes, when I used to give the adhan, I would break my fast first. I know it's 5:54, I have a date and a water. That could take 10 seconds, yes or no? No, if people outside, they see if they can, but now if you hear the adhan, you wait for the adhan. Maybe the imam doesn't come on that day. What do you do? The mu'adhin don't come on. So time matters. Is that clear for everyone? Now you have to know when it comes to the time, that the time I can pray. If it is not the time of prayer, you cannot pray. Yes. Yes.
If it is happening,
Yeah.
then it is important for us to listen to the adhan and follow it rather than pray.
Yes. What I'm trying to tell you over here, listening to we as men, or even the sisters, when they hear the adhan, what they do, they listen to the adhan. We listen to the adhan, we come to, that's the best thing to do. But what I'm trying to emphasize over here is the time. You know what I'm saying? We don't pray straight away, yes or no? We wait for 20 minutes after adhan. This is what we do. What I'm trying to say, I'm emphasizing over the time over here. That the time, what matters. So now the time has come in. 5:54 is adhan al-Maghrib. So now the time I can stop. I don't have to pray now. I'm saying this is the time where you can start praying. Yes or no? When does Maghrib finish? By the time Isha starts. They have from here to here until you can make the Salah. So I'm not saying that once the time comes, we have to pray. No, I'm saying by the time that now the door has opened for you to pray. Either you pray at that time or you delay 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to come to the masjid. But what we're trying to say, that's the time for us to start praying. Because let me tell you something. Let's say even in England, we have masjid, especially for Salat al-Isha. We have masjid for Maghrib, it is usually same adhan. For Asr and Isha. So the masajid, what they do is, some masjid, they will pray Salat al-Asr 3:30, beginning time. And then you will see another masjid in the same area, they are praying Salat, they're giving the adhan of Asr 4:30. 4:30. So the women who are living in that place, or the men in that place, do they have to wait for that adhan to pray? No. This adhan is sufficient. But they're doing it in a different time, which is okay to accommodate the people. It's totally fine. But what we want to make you, we all understand that what matters is the time. So we always need to know what is the beginning time of the prayer. Not at the time of the iqamah of the masjid, the beginning time of the country. All right? Yes. You look, very good.
I'm not far away, I can hear it.
If you hear, the question is, can you pray while the adhan is going on? It is sunnah to listen to the adhan and repeat after the adhan and do the dua. All right? And then you pray. That's the best thing to do. Yeah? But if someone is in a hurry, a doctor has to do an operation, or you have to catch a flight, the mu'adhin is giving the adhan, he's elongating his adhan for like 3 minutes. I got no time to wait for 3 minutes now. What do? I pray. Because listening to the adhan is sunnah. And praying for me now is obligatory because I don't have time. You understand what I'm saying? So you pray. You understand what I'm saying? But the best is, only when you have an excuse, you really want it, then at that time you pray straight away. But what we're trying to say here, this is the time of Salah when it starts. Number 2, concealing the awrah. Concealing the awrah. Awrah means the private part of a human being where no one is allowed to see except yourself and your spouse. Awrah means a private part of your body that no one is allowed to see except you and your spouse. Or a doctor for medical reason. Or a doctor for medical reason, women that give birth and everything. For the awrah of a man is from the belly button, belly button until the knee. This part has to be covered in salah for the man. This part has to be covered in salah. As for the shoulders, it is preferable. Yeah, if ever it's fallen down, it is makruh. If ever it's gone down, but this is covered, your navel and then until your knee, your salah is accepted. But you see that a lot in the ihram. So at that moment, you have to know the first one is time. So it is salah time. Number 2 is my awrah covered. So the awrah of the man is from the belly button until the knee. This has to be covered, especially in salah. Question? We're speaking to it now. Nowadays, because of the genes of what we have, because of the clothes of what we have, you see people coming up with cuts on their jeans above the knee. Their awrah is shown. Is salah accepted in this clothes? La. Why? Because the awrah is uncovered. Even though you could be all covered, but your jeans got those kind of cuts. Wallahi, back in the days, if you have seen cuts, I give you another say, just go and show you. But now, no, now they sell it. So,
Like a fashion of it.
I mean, this is how it is. For at that moment, what happened? These kind of jeans you can't wear. Number 2, how many times we find brothers come to the masjid and they wear their pants pretty low, around the waist area. When they do ruku' or sujood, their back is shown, the awrah is shown, which is above their bottom, is shown. Or they wear a kind of short that when they're doing sajda or at the tahiyyat position, their full knee is exposed. So if no text, okay, we'll speak about that. This is makruh. Now we're speaking about awrah. So now you see some people, they wear shorts. By the time they're making a sajda or sitting in the tahiyyat position, you can see their knees exposed. Ya akhi, if your knees exposed, then your salah will not be accepted. I will tell you now. If ever you're making sajda, keep your question. If ever now you're making sajda, and for example, it does happen, you have seen that some people's above the bottom are shown. This means the awrah has been exposed. Am I right or wrong? Now the question is, when is my salah accepted or not accepted? Put this in your mind. If 2 movements consecutive are done and your awrah is exposed with 2 consecutive movements, then your salah is nullified. Batil. An example. If I've gone into ruku' and my awrah is exposed, what is the next move after ruku'? La. It's standing up. So if my ruku', my awrah was exposed, and after that I stood up, my awrah is still exposed, then my salah is nullified. But if ever I've done my ruku' and by mistake, my awrah was exposed, and when I stood up, it was fine. It was not exposed anymore. In this case, your salah is, you continue your salah. Because which something does happen. If it is 2 consecutive movements, that means it is the norm. That means for the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th movement, it's still going to be exposed. So your awrah cannot be exposed. Sometimes a mistake may happen. it just exposed. Back in the days, they used to wear, the wizar. Maybe a wind comes, it just, exposes your aura, and you put it down, you go, this is normal. But 2 consecutive movements, your aura is exposed, then your salah is not accepted. For the sisters, when it comes to salah, each and every part of their body has to be covered except their face and their hands. Except their face and their hand can be exposed. All right? Their face and the hand. Even some ulama says, even the woman, their neck has to be covered. You understand what I'm saying? But some ulama say even the chin has to be covered because the face is here. All right, we just want to know, however you think where your face ends, cover your head, expose your face and your hand. As for your feet, I know the subcontinent people, they will let their feet on. The ulama, the differs over here. From the madhab of Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, for him, the feet is not part of awrah. But majority says it is part of awrah. So, a woman, whenever she's praying, she wears socks. Or her prayer dress can be long and cover her feet, no problem, even though she's not wearing a sock. If it gets exposed anytime during salah, no problem. All right? But this is the awrah between the man and a woman. For the man, belly button until the knee, and for the woman, whole body except the face and the hand. Now the mistake, what happened, my brothers, when we go to Umrah. Wallahi, you see people in Hajj walking in Arafah, you can see their belly button, they're praying, they're putting the ihram on top, they're praying, and then the awrah is shown. Whenever you are tying up your ihram, put your ihram above your navel, your belly button. Tight. You cannot walk around the tawaf or the mataf, making tawaf while your awrah is exposed. And we've seen that a lot, yes or no? Not only that, when it comes to salah time, some of them, what do? They leave it, they tie it on their neck and then they're praying. Yeah. When you do ihram, inshallah, we're going to speak about umrah later. At all times, a man's body has to be covered at all times. You wear the wizar and then you wear the cover on top at all times, except only during tawaf, you put it under your right arm, only the first 7. There was some ulama said the first 3. And after that, khalas, you put back. Cover yourself. No one wants to see your biceps and your triceps. Huh? I said, this is how it is. You see people for the whole time down, they keep, no. Once you finish your last tawaf, take it up and put it on top of you. Khalas, cover yourself. There are women around you. Yes or no? You don't want to expose yourself. Well, we're doing that to show humbleness towards Allah Azza wa Jalla. You can't show humbleness towards Allah Azza and boast towards the people on the other side. صح ولا Muhammad? No. So once you finish, put it on top. You're covering your awrah at all times, especially when you're praying. How many people sometimes they pray, even when they pray, they allow the shoulder to be uncovered. It is, even you leave your shoulder uncovered while you pray, it's okay. But cover your shoulder. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, cover the shoulder. He emphasized that to cover the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that we need to understand when it comes to awrah. Okay? So number 1, we said time. Number 2 is awrah. So you need to make sure that your awrah is covered before you even pray. Number 3 is purity. You need to make sure you're pure. You need to make sure that your clothes are pure and clean. Pure mostly. I'll tell you what clean means. And you need to make sure that the place where you're praying is pure. Pure and clean are 2 different things. نظيف وطاهر شيء يعني طهر, 2 different things. I could be dirty. Let's say, for example, I come to a football game, I'm sweating. Cricket game, I'm sweating. Salah time, I come. I know it's the time is there. My awrah covered. Even though I'm sweating, I'm dirty, but I'm not impure. Allah Akbar, I pray. Even though I'm bleeding, injury bleeding, I'm pure. Allah. By the time I feel that there has been some kind of najasa on me, urine, stool, sperm, anything like that. Oh, now, okay, now I can't pray in that clothes. I can't pray at that area, and I can't pray myself because I need to make ghusl. Yes or no? Now I'm impure. So impure, and we could say unclean, are two different things. That's why sometimes we say, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them and elevate their rank. You know, the brothers, I don't like to say the name, but the people who, they call them the ummal, the laborers, they call them. It's not that they chose to smell bad, but this is how they work. And subhanAllah, when it comes to Dhuhr time, they are praying in the masjid. Asr time, they're coming and praying in the masjid. We should not show any kind of face or any kind of disgust with them. Abadan. Because if they had a chance to go and take a shower and come, they would. And in spite of their work under the sun the whole day, Salah time, they're coming to the masjid, akhi. Where are those people with their suit? Salah time, they are not in the masjid. They're not meeting with Allah. They're meeting with their boss. But those people who we call them ummal, those people, subhanAllah, in Yawm al-Qiyamah, you can never know the daraja in the eyes of Allah. And those people, and I tell you, when it comes to Ramadan, you all know, they're the first and foremost who come and help for iftar. They are among those people who hafaz the Quran. Among those people who really love Allah Azza wa Jal more than us. So we need to respect those people. We need to help those people. Don't show this, even though they're smelly, it's okay. I remember once we were entering a place, and Ajib, the guy, yes, he will not well. Look, we're trying to say over here, because if the best thing for them to do is when they come into a place with clean, they can bring a sajjadah. They call it a carpet or the prayer mat. They pray on that. But I remember went into a masjid, and the guy, it was a mechanic. The guy was really not clean. But Salah time, he went to the masjid. Into the place, into the masjid. When he got up, he knew people would not come and pray next to him. He knew. He went behind. He went behind because to him, if ever he felt it's not a must to pray, he wouldn't have come for Salah. And in spite of him into this clothes, he came for Salah. Yes or no? There are now, it depends. There are many people be like, oh, look at him, look at him come to Salah, what the? Nah. Actually, we went to him, we pulled him from the second saf in the first saf, and we stand next to him, and feet to feet, we made sure that our feet touch him. How did he feel? Brotherhood. He was not impure. He was just something, especially Salat al-Dhuhr. It's hot in that place where we are, 43 degrees, working outside. He's no problem. Because today, tomorrow, we can end up in a kind of situation where we become sweaty, yes or no? Never ever show disgust to those people. I know people have actually expelled them from the masjid. Don't do that. Allah, don't do that. Because they're doing it, they're here for a reason. But therefore, what I'm trying to say over here, cleanliness and purity are two different things. All right? So as long as you're pure, you need to understand that you're pure, khalas, you can pray bi'idhnillah ta'ala. If you're not clean, which means that you're smelly, or perhaps you're sweaty, or they've got some blood on your hand, whatever, this does not make you impure. All right? Does not make you impure. Purity. Next one is facing the Qibla. Now, the fourth one is facing the Qibla. You can't just get up and pray any direction you wish. فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ. And now it's time for you to face towards the Qibla. Back in the days, they used to face towards where? Jerusalem, Al-Aqsa. In our religion, we always try to differ from Ahl al-Kitab. So we start facing towards Al-Haram. So now it's Salah time. I got to make sure that I face towards the Qibla. You come to the masjid, khalas, we already know. If you're at home, you need to make sure you face towards the Qibla. In the desert, you want to travel, you went to a hotel, abroad, you need to face towards the Qibla. Question. Now we know it's fine, come to the masjid. Facing towards the Qibla, while you are in front of the Kaaba, you have to face straight. But when you don't have the Kaaba in front of your view, even if you slide a little bit on the left or right, 45 degrees, no problem. 90 degrees is a different direction. North, south, east, west. This Qibla and I face towards here, it's not allowed. If the Qibla is here and I face shwiyya over here, yeah, 45 degrees here, or 40, no problem. Because the direction is that side anyway. You did not divert in a 90 degrees position or 180 or 270. You actually 45, which is shwiyya 45 or shwiyya maybe 60, whatever, but not 90. Even perhaps this one, it's not, is it 100% toward the Kaaba or Qibla? We don't know. We're just using the compass. At home, we don't know. At that moment, no problem. Now, number one. Number two, let's say I've gone to a place and I do not know where the Qibla is. And I had to face toward the Qibla. What do? Yes. You make the utmost, you look for the Qibla. At the end, you're going to find the Qibla. You look at the most accurate what you think. All right? This is the west, in Dubai, southeast, or northwest. I'm here. I'm in the desert, I don't know. I went to on a transit, but I don't know where it is. In this case, ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله أو ولكن البر من اتقى. If ever you are not able to identify exactly where the Qibla is, then what do? Pray any direction. Even though it is far. You pray any direction. In regards to Nawafil, you can pray even though a different direction. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he prayed on Nawafil on his camel or donkey, and it was walking left and right. Fard, you have to pray towards Qibla. But if ever you're in a place where you do not know where the Qibla is, then you can pray in a direction. If you know that you're not going to get the right direction before or after the time will be over. For example, I'm on a plane. Not every Tayran or airlines will allow me to pray. Not every airline. Some of the airlines, you go say you want to pray, they look at you up and down. Yeah, it's not going to happen. In Emirat, alhamdulillah, in Royal Brunei, in Saudi, I know some others, but Turkish Airways, they allow you as well. But now, you're traveling, you're on a plane, you're on a train, you're on a bus. You know that now, if I wait to go back home or to land, Salah time will be over. And now, the only way for me to pray is to pray sitting and whatever direction the plane is facing. In this case, what do? I pray. Because an excuse, I pray. Some ulama said you pray, and when you go back home, you repeat that prayer toward the Qibla. No need. You've prayed, khalas. So this is in regards to Qibla. All right? Because some people, they start fighting Qibla, no, Qibla is right side, left side. If ever you have prayed towards a direction, and then after Salah, you came to know that was the wrong direction, what do? Khalas. You don't need to repeat the prayer. If ever you're praying in the wrong direction, someone comes to you and tell you, Muhammad, turn right shwiyya. While you're praying, you can turn right, no problem. Muhammad, turn left. You can turn left while you're praying. No problem at all. Because this is what happened when they actually changed the Qibla at the time of Asr in Masjid Quba. All right? This is in regards to Al-Qibla. And the last one is intention, which is supposed to be the first and foremost. Intention. You need to have intention for you to pray. And your intention is in your heart, yes or no? You don't need to go and say your intention verbally. Abadan. There's nothing that says نويت أن أصلي لله تعالى أوجه كعبة 4 ركعات. No. You are waking up, you're getting up from your chair is an intention for you to pray, yes or no? You're going to make wudu, it's an intention for your salah. You're coming to the masjid, you're going to meet Allah as that is your intention. All right? And now that intention may play double role. Are you coming to the masjid really to pray Salat al-Isha or to get a break from your family? Are you coming for Salat al-Isha to pray so that after that I can go to the supermarket, take a smoke and cigarette, then I go back home? 2 in 1, yeah. No. Your intention for Salah. First your intention for Salah, and then then we speak about what's supposed to be spoken. No problem. But first and foremost, as-salah. It's okay. I used to go to the masjid before to pray and play. Back in the days. But now I don't know it to just pray and pray, or pray and play, or play and pray. I don't know. When I was growing up, masjid was our playing area. We grew up in the masjid back in the days. This is how we started loving the masjid. We used to play in the masjid. But we used to go for salah. That intention was double intention. We used to go for prayer and playing. No problem. If you want to come to the masjid to pray and then to meet the brother, it's totally fine. No problem. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And you have to do it for the sake of Allah. I'm not going to the masjid to show off. I'm not going to the masjid to show my family, oh, I'm leaving the masjid. No, I'm going to the masjid solely for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. I come and pray fard. After the fard, I go home and I pray the sunnah. If I can't pray sunnah in the house, I pray over here, no problem. Solely for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. So let's repeat it again. Number 1 is intention, yes or no? And then number 2, time. Number 3, awrah. Number 4, qibla. And number 5, tahara. All right? You have these 5, you can go home, you can share that with your family, or tomorrow you can see the recordings, inshallah. All right? Barakallahu fikum. Those online, if they want to actually ask any question, tafadhal, and question over here.
So regarding, because you mentioned that the Prophet Muhammad went to 7th sky.
Yes.
Salah was made compulsory.
Yes.
So we say there is 7 skies. So, like, does this mean that the sky in this is the first?
This is the first one.
Like this, like the universe.
What we know is 7th heaven.
No. Like universe. This is the first.
Yeah, that's the first one. On top of that is another one. So there's another one.
So the first sky, like, it includes everything, the universe.
Yes.
The galaxy.
Of course, everything. That's the first one. Huh?
All get the first.
Just the first one. And the same way we have the earth as well. خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن. نعم.
You mentioned the plane example. So like when you're going to India, it's like a 4-hour flight.
4 hours flight to India.
So is it better to pray your Maghrib in the plane or go and then mix it with your Isha?
You decide. You can either pray Isha, Maghrib and Isha on the plane, or you can pray once you get down over there, you pray Maghrib and Isha, Jam'an Qasran down there. The choice is yours. That's why we are Musafir. We have the choice either to do it on that time or the other time. Totally fine.
Like, because you're talking about Salah, everyone knows it's important. And it's one of the pillars of Islam.
Yes.
So people, Muslim,
Yeah.
they leave it because they are too lazy to pray. Like, is this the same as kufr?
No. Leaving, good question. His question is, as we mentioned, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَمَنْ تَرَكَهَا فَقَدْ كَفَرَ الْعَهْدُ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَهُمْ الصَّلَاةُ. The difference between us and them, the kuffar, is salah. Whoever leaves the salah has actually committed an act of kufr. All have fallen into kufr. If ever someone prays from time to time, asi, he that disobeyed the person, Allah Azza wa. Someone who is a Muslim and refused to pray, they have fallen into the category of kufr. Kaba'ir, eh? Kufr. But if someone prays from time to time, he's lazy, he's neglectful of prayer. From time to time, he's going to be responsible. هؤلاء, Allah says, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ.
But the third one, you said that the one who like refuses to like he refuses from himself.
Yeah, someone who refused to pray. All his,
This is kufr.
yeah, he has fallen into kufr. Can we say he's a kafir? That's between him and Allah Azza wa Jalla.
So like, is it not for him?
Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will decide for him. Because if he meets Allah with La ilaha illallah, I got nothing to say.
Yes, but like it's like his chances of going to the Jannah is very low.
Oh, maybe not even chance. But against between Allah Azza wa Jalla.
What is play laps for a long time?
Yes. Yes, no problem. You can, if you know that he's asking, can we follow the app in regard to the Qibla and the time? If ever you're in a place where you don't hear the adhan, yeah, you don't know where the Qibla is, you have an app, accurate app, you can follow the app, no problem.
That's a lot. This is an amazing.
Yes. It should be, yeah, for it to come out there. Even though you follow that, it's not authentic, you're solidly accepted. Yes, if there's no wudu, then you make tayammum. Yes, if there's no water, then you perform, huh? Yes, look, now you may have water. Do you have water to be able to make wudu? You may have a bottle of water. That bottle of water we said is for drinking. Yeah? If on the plane or on the train, there's the washroom, there's water, then you had to make wudu. Then you had to make wudu because water is there. Yeah, no, if ever you have water with you and there's no place to make wudu, that means you have water in a bottle. Yes or no? And that water in a bottle, you cannot make wudu with it. Because you cannot make wudu on a train, you cannot make wudu on a bus. And if you know that the next salah is going to come in and you will not be able to stop, then you perform whatever is supposed to be performed in regards to tayammum because water is not available for you to make wudu.
It's sufficient. I think he needs.
No, he knows it is sufficient, but you're not able to make wudu. If you're not able to stop the train, you're not able to stop the bus, then then at any point you have to do something for you to pray. Now, no problem. If it is,
Like salah for a Jama, it has to be then all the roads has to be covered. Actually, I've seen in the mosque. Plastic carpet on the back side for the laborers and all. We should pray over there.
Yeah. No, it's not allowed.
Get this.
Yeah. His question is, are we allowed to keep gaps for people to pray behind and then the rows start here and then the 7, 8 rows are empty and then we see old people sitting on the chair at the back. We see people that, no, we can't do that. We can actually keep chairs for the people who wants to pray in chairs at the end of the saf, but not at the back of the. We've seen that in many masajid, not here, in different countries, where you enter, you see old people praying on chairs at the back. The rows start over here, first, second, third, and then 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, it's all empty. At the 10th row, you see people sitting at the back and praying on the chair. La, abad, najas. They bring the chair, they pray with the saf. The saf has to be completed. ثم الذين يلينه, like the Prophet said. Then first finish, second, third, fourth. If ever you want to make them pray at the end, they pray. But if ever now salah started, there's no one, they have to come. They should not be gapped. Yeah, you start from the middle and then you go left, right, left, right, left, right.
Outside they put the plastic carpet for the laborers. They have to pray there. They cannot pray.
This is if ever they feel this is the right thing to do, then they pray outside. If ever, look, to pray outside or to pray at the thing, if ever there's a reason for it, there's a reason for it. Yeah, there are people, for example, sometimes someone he had a contagious sickness. He didn't come pray, he can pray behind. Contagious sickness. He's got COVID or whatever. He's got pandemic, he's got corona. Ajib, we don't hear this word anymore. May Allah save us. We don't want to hear that anymore. Anyway, new one is coming ahead. Stuff. It's gonna come again. Depend on the economy. If ever they feel that someone is really, for example, someone himself, he feel that, Akhi, I don't want to go and pray because I'm really sweaty and I'm smelly, and I don't want to go and pray with them. I'm going to affect the carpet and the people. That's a legit reason. Then he can pray at the back, inshallah. Yes. Praying in between the pillars is not permissible unless or until it is Salat al-Jum'ah or Taraweeh and it is full. But if ever you have a choice of not having your pillar to distract your row, then don't pray here. But if ever someone has already started there, then join him. No, then they carry on, finish, khalas. Carry it on, finish. Then do a second one. First and foremost, we should not allow anyone to be praying in between these. But if ever someone has started, khalas, carry on, no problem. It's no big deal. Now is it.
The actual boundary of a masjid. Until the haram, they say the white tiles is the boundary, but people still pray.
Haram? La, haram. The boundary of the haram is between the mountains. Hey, even those who pray in the hotel, they get the same ajr. The women, Hatta Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he told the women, praying in their house is better than praying in the masjid. And guess what? The masjid, the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you get 1,000 rewards. But the haram, scholars differ. You're right, I said. Scholar differs. Is it only the haram area? The haram structure? Who made the haram structure? Not Allah. The engineer. Yes or no? The white area. That's mataf. That's not only called haram. Haram is the masjid and the area of the haram, which is from one mountain to the other. The Prophet mentioned. So when you go to Mecca, you will always see it start of haram, and whoever prays in this area, they get the ajr of 10,000 salah, 100,000 if they're in Mecca. In Medina, they get 1,000. And whoever commit a sin in this area, the la'na of Allah and the malaika and the nas, everyone upon them. So don't think that it's something good. Praying, or living in the haram. People like to live in the haram. But committing a sin in the haram area, be very careful.
There are different mosques. In that mosque also,
Even in that mosque, you get same ajr according to the most correct view. This is the area there.
Like when you read the Jummah prayer here, when does the boundary of our masjid end? Like sometimes I've seen when it's too much people, the whole back area is full, and then we have the road cross over there, right? People are praying on that side of the road cross.
As long as, good question. If I'm making Salat al-Jum'ah and then the masjid is full, how do I carry on? You continue the saf that comes after. After the door, what the saf come. Don't be like those people. Over here it's full. The parking is empty. But where they're praying, under the tree on that side over there. I know there's more jama'ah on that tree over there because of the shade. Inside the building, la yajuz. Salah, it has to have the saf muktamil, it has to complete. This saf, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, carry on. Yes, or else you cannot have any saf that are maqtu' or cut. No, wudu, tayammum. Against tayammum. Someone just make tayammum for them. They can't touch water, tayammum. Simple as that. They themselves or someone else did that for them. if they're able to, if there's nothing for them, then there's another ruling. As long as someone has to pray, he has to make tayammum.
Jamaat, when you're praying at the Imam, you stand up from ruku, do you have to say Sami Allahu Akbar?
No. If you're praying in Jama'ah and the Imam says Sami Allahu liman hamida, what do you say? Rabbana wa lakal hamd. That's it. The only time you say Sami Allahu liman hamida if you're praying alone or Imam in Jama'ah.
So in Jama'ah, you can say Sama Allah and then say Rabbana.
No. If the Imam, the Prophet said, when the Imam says Allahu Akbar, say Allahu Akbar. When he says Sami Allahu liman hamida, you say Rabbana wa lakal hamd. The hadith didn't say Sami Allahu liman hamida. Yeah, حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه من السماء ومن الأرض ومن المشاء. أبيوه سنة. Some people, when they go to the haram, they pray in the hotel. This is laziness. Go and pray in Jama'ah with the Imam. You get more reward. Leave the hotel for the women. The women, they have a choice. They pray in the hotel or can they pray in the haram? This. But the men, yes. But men go to the haram now. What you want to pray in the hotel for?
So if you pray alone, can you say Sama Allah?
Yes.
Can you say Sama Allah and then say Rabbana?
Yes. سمع الله ربنا ولك الحمد. بارك الله فيكم وجزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
توفيق دائما إن شاء الله.
وفقكم الله.